All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are back for another week of Just a Fan podcast. We are now in week what 6, I believe, of the division by division talks. I know I'm losing count. I know. I think the last two. What's up, Donald?
Hey,
I think
Darwin.
the last two are coming up. AFC East and NFC East. Those will be covered the next 2 weeks. So yeah, I think this is like week 6. So yeah, this week 6 of our 8 weeks division by division talks, discussion, whatever. We're doing AFC North today, which covers Pittsburgh Steelers, who we have a guest for. Um, we'll bring him on later on. We also have we'll be covering the Ravens, Bengals, and Browns. We don't have fans for those. We know Ravens fans, but yeah, and I don't think we know any Bengals fans, and we definitely don't know any Browns fans. So, but hopefully one day, we'll get to the point where all 8 weeks we'll have four. We have a guest represent each team, and that means 4 guests per show. Anyway, let's go and get this thing going. As we're back here for another week, Coach Williams, NFL Encyclopedia, Wildcat quarterback that runs this whole show. Like I said, 8 weeks for division by division talk. We're coming towards the end. On the screen next to me, Panel 316, the good guy with the black hat. What's up, man?
Yo, man, I can't call it. I'm just living the dream.
There you go. living a dream, man. Never mind. Okay, and then down below on the screen, Steve Space Age. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up? Good to be back. Good to be back.
Good to have you back on here, man. Good to have you back on here. So, we got some news today, and stuff like this always comes up before training camp begins. Now, I don't know when the 49ers training camp begins. Eric, of course, has that information because he's the 49ers fan.
Rookie show up Wednesday.
You said what?
Rookie show up Wednesday.
Okay, rookie show up on Wednesday. So that means veterans show up soon after that. What's up, Cleveland? What's up, Donald? So anyway, Ricky Pearsall. Juwan Jennings said this morning, that, well, at least it was reported this morning that he's looking for a contract extension because he has 1 year left after signing a 2-year extension last offseason, and he wants to get paid more money or get traded out of San Francisco. If I'm now, I know Eric has a lot to say because he's the 49ers fan, and he knows his 49ers better than anybody I know. If I'm the 49ers, I'm paying Juwan Jennings because your wide receiver room is I'm not saying it's thin, but you don't want to get worse than what it is now because Brandon Ayuk is still not healthy. You don't know what Ricky Pearsall can do all the way yet. I mean, you got some games, but you need more out of him. He was your first pick. And so I don't know who else is in the wide receiver room. Eric knows that, but I would re-sign Juwan Jennings. I would not trade him because, like I said, the wide receiver room would just be ultra thin. I mean, ultra thin, and it would set the team back. It would literally set the team back unless they have a plan. So, Eric, you go ahead and cover this Juwan Jennings topic, unless Steve, you want to start off. But go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right. So here's the thing: Juwan Jennings has a little bit of leverage on the Niners right now, and here's why. last year, Brandon Ayuk signed like this massive deal. It's like almost $30 million per year average. He came out the gate slow because he held out for most of training camp. And just when he was starting to get his feet under him and really starting to get back to form, that's when he tore his ACL and MCL. Okay. Juwan Jennings stepped up in a huge way. A lot of people don't know this, but when you look at the numbers of 49ers offense, even without Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk and a very, very unproductive, I'm going to say unproductive, but a less than productive Deebo Samuel, they were still in the top 10 in offense. A lot of people didn't know that. It was a defense that was horrible. And because the reason why they were still really good was because of Juwan Jennings stepping up and being the player that he was. He was 25 yards away from hitting 1,000 yards. Okay. He knows that, and he saw his value. Now, a little background. Juwan Jennings was a high school quarterback. He went to the University of Tennessee as a quarterback, switched to wide receiver.
Okay.
And because he wasn't as polished at the time, not to mention he had a 4.7 40, he basically fell to the 7th round of the draft. Niners picked him up as a camp body, kind of like they did Brock Purdy. And he wound up being their number one receiver last year and got almost 1,000 yards. He is a very, very crisp route runner. You have to be. If you run a 4.7, your route tree has to be immaculate to get set.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're that slow. But somehow, some way, he always found a way to get open. Back when the whole crew was there in 2023, he got the nickname Third and Juwan because all he does was convert third downs. I don't care what the third and 15, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 5. Purdy was looking at Juwan Jennings, and rightfully so. He's extremely sure-handed, doesn't drop the ball, stays healthy, and is reliable. And he proved that this past season when all the weight was put on his shoulders. He would have probably hit 1,000 yards if he had not got ejected from the last game of the season. And the reason why he got ejected, which it was a bogus flag, but the reason why he got ejected is bringing me to my next point. He blocks like a lineman. That's hard. That is very hard to find in the NFL. You got these wide receivers that's divas. They can catch the ball, make one-handed catches and all this other stuff like that. But can you block for your running back? Can you block for the other receivers when they catch the ball? He's an amazing blocker. Basically, he blocked the guy through the back of the end zone and into the stands. Referee threw him out the game. But I digress. Basically, the Niners, he's making $7.5 million. He signed it. He was an exclusive rights free agent last year. They signed the game a 2-year deal worth $7.5 million. Okay. He realizes his worth. Not to mention the wide receiver room at the beginning of the year for the Niners is going to be extremely thin. And he knows they got to count on it. Brandon Ayuk is probably going to start the year on the PUP list. Probably won't be able to come back till week 5. DeMarcus Robinson, who they signed in the offseason, may be suspended for 2 or 3 games because he had a DUI back when he was with the Rams, and we're still waiting on the league to come down with their judgment, even though he got probation for it. So those are the two top guys, basically. So he knows he has it. Ricky Pearsall, even though he flashed last year, you kind of don't want to put all your eggs in a second-year guy's basket and say, you the man, when you only played for a few games last year because he got shot in the chest, rightfully so. You know, the fact that he even came back was a miracle. But you got a bunch of rookies and second-year guys, and he's the most experienced receiver, healthy and available going into 2025. And he knows that. He understands that. And he's saying, hey, y'all need to up the ante, put some more ducks in my bank account, or either trade me. Now, Do I think the 49ers will trade him? No, because he's not going to command a salary like a Garrett Wilson, which we'll get to in a second. He's not going to command that type of. He's not going to even command the Brandon Ayuk type salary, but he knows that he could. He knows that he could stand to make some more money.
Yeah.
And the 49ers right now, have $45 million in cap space. And they're like second in cap space. So I see this as a no-brainer. I see them coming to sit down before they even start. The veterans show up. Hey, Juwan, come in early. We're going to give you anywhere. His is a big window, but probably 15 to 20 million. I think that's a fair deal. And I think he'll take it. Because I think he wants to stay in San Francisco. He realizes he has another opportunity to be the man. Now, what could be the roadblock? He could probably say, well, I don't want to get tied down in a long-term deal. Because if I show out this year, I want to be able to, move on while I'm still at the prime of my career. That could be a roadblock. It just all depends on what he wants. We know he wants more money. I think he wants money and longevity. If it's money and longevity, then I don't see a problem with the Niners doing that. I think they'll get it done. They've gotten harder deals done. So it's not like he's a premier player. He's the best blocking receiver. He's a Hines Ward. It's funny that we talk about AFC North. He's a Hines Ward type of receiver.
Okay.
He's gritty, and he will block you into the next zip code. So that's his persona. So I think it's going to be I just can't see it. The Niners moving on from him, especially with the need that they have at the beginning of the year.
I agree.
So I don't see it going away. I don't see the deal being more than $20 million. I think he'll take anything around 20, and it's a fair deal. It's not going to hurt the Niners' pockets that much. And then you got this guy long term.
Let me ask you a question. When you say long term,
3 or 4 years.
So are you saying 3 or 4 years added to behind this 1 year contract, or 2 to 3 years added to this 1 year contract?
No, okay, so he has a 2-year deal. Next year will be the last year of that deal. This coming season.
This coming season last year, right?
Right.
So he's a free agent 2026.
Right.
Right. So are you asking?
They don't do anything. He's a free agent 2026.
Right. He's a free agent. So are you saying 2 to 3 years after this season is up, or 3 to 4 after this season is up?
We're talking about an extension.
No, I know we're talking about extension.
We're talking about like a 4-year deal, including this one coming up. So a 4-year deal.
Okay, so because my question is, and I'm not mad at giving a contract extension, especially for money and stuff. What my only concern is, and I know we still don't know who Ricky Pearsall is. Ricky Pearsall, you drafted him in the first round. You just gave Ayuk a contract extension. And yes, Ricky Pearsall is still technically cheap because he's on a rookie contract. He has 2 years left. So I would assume that, it shouldn't be a problem because he has 2 years left, because you don't know what Ricky Pearsall is. I was wondering if it was going to get too expensive in the wide receiver room or too congested because you have a first round pick, but I forgot he's still cheap, so it's not going to matter.
He's still cheap. This is his 2nd year. We got 3 more years of Ricky Pearsall on his rookie deal.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you can give him the 5th year option. So yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. So he got this year and 3 years after that if they decide to give him the 5th year option. So he's still pretty cheap. So now that's what we're getting to. My next point was it's cheaper to do it now, to go ahead and give Jennings his money now. Because here's the thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Here's the thing. If you say, no, Jennings, you got to play out this deal, and then we're going to see after this season, and he fool around and go out there and catch for 1,000 yards, which he's highly capable of,
he's going to become expensive.
Hello. Now you ain't talking about 15 to 20 now. You're talking about 20 to 25. Or
actually, depend on what he does and how much money he really wants, because This might be his only opportunity to get a huge contract. He might swing. He might F around and try to get a $30 million contract.
I don't see that happening.
I don't know.
He would have to. He would have to do something more than just get just above 1,000 yards. He would have to have a ridiculously stupid season. Like he'd have to be like 1,400 yards, double-digit touchdowns.
Who says it's not possible?
It would have to be something like that.
Who says it's not possible?
No, it's highly possible, but I don't think with as many balls there are to spread around in that offense. You got to remember Christian McCaffrey's back.
I get it.
You got George Kittle who's still playing like he's in his prime. He's 1,000-yard tight end. You still got Ricky Pearsall who might do something. They just drafted the kid Jordan Watkins out of Ole Miss who's probably going to get significant playing time. Brandon Ayuk is going to come back eventually. So you're looking at a lot of balls to get spread around. So last year was different because you didn't have Brandon Ayuk. Deebo Samuel had pneumonia for half the damn season. And then came back kind of weak because you don't just recover from pneumonia in a couple of weeks. People don't understand that about Deebo Samuel. We'll get to that when we cover the NFC East. Deebo Samuel's going to be all right next year for the Commanders. But that's why his production was down last year because he had pneumonia week 4 or 5. You don't just get over pneumonia like it's the flu. But I digress from that because when we get to the next topic. But I don't see him doing that. What he did last year. Could he get 1,000 yards? Sure. Could he get way over 1,000, like 1,400 yards? No, I don't see that because there's too many balls to be spread around.
Okay.
So the point is, they give him like a $15 to $20 million deal now, and spread that out over 4 years, it's going to be way cheaper. And not to mention the cap's going up, so you still have a lot of room. You better pay everybody. So it's better to do it now. If John Lynch got some sense, which he's shown he's starting to have some sense now, if they get it done now, it's going to be better down the line.
Okay.
What I don't like is every time we've had training camp over the last 3 or 4 years, there's always been some kind of contract drama. It's like it never fails. Every year, every offseason around training camp. But that's the end of that take. That's Juwan Jennings. He needs to be resigned. I don't think he's going anywhere unless he just is crazy. Unless he's like, I want $30 million. Oh, no, you got to go, bro. I'm sorry. You're going to play out this deal. We're going to let you walk. But other than that, no. I don't think they're going to trade him.
All right. Steve, you got anything?
He said it all. I agree. I agree with E. Pay him now before his value goes up.
All right, cool. All right, and Kenny D, just want to say, I see you Steelers fan, man. Welcome to the show. I figure you're new. If you like the show, please subscribe, share this with a friend. We're going to cover the AFC North after this next topic. Donald, we're not going to cover this top 10 just because of timing tonight for our guests, okay? All right, so next topic. Speaking of wide receivers, what up, Keenan? Speaking of wide receivers, New York Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson has got himself a contract extension, 4 years, $130 million contract at 32.5 each year. He is now the 5th highest paid receiver under Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, and CeeDee Lamb in no order. Yes, DK Metcalf, I think it's the 4th highest paid wide receiver in the league, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, Steve, what's your take on that? I'm gonna double check those numbers.
I got you.
I think he's a really good receiver. I mean, I think it's a lot for him, to be completely honest. It's a lot for the Jets to spend on him. I don't think he's one of the. I don't even think he's top 10, top 12 in the league. But he's getting paid, like you said, top 5. So I mean, I think it's just a lot. But the Jets here we're talking about, so it's a lot, man. That's a lot.
Okay, so let me go ahead and push back a little bit on that. I did some digging on Garrett Wilson, and I'm still looking for the
Here's my thing about, and I understand what you're saying, Steve.
I was going feeling
Here's my problem.
like you just cut me
Garrett
off.
Wilson's quarterbacks have been what? Zach Wilson.
That's why I was feeling say, Brandon. You cut me
Oh,
off.
my bad.
I was in the middle of a take and you just cut me off.
No. I thought you still think I
No. I wasn't. I had what I had to say because
No, go ahead. You go ahead. Because
Garrett Wilson has produced 1,000 yards each of his 3 seasons with trash at quarterback.
Yeah.
Absolute just doo-doo water at quarterback. And has produced 1,000 yards. He's never been under 1,000 yards since he's been in the NFL. And yes, he's the 4th highest paid. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. Those are only 3 guys are getting paid more than him.
DK's getting paid more.
DK Metcalf is no. DK Metcalf is like 10th highest.
I got DK at $33 million.
Did he sign an extension or something?
He got an extension with Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. So yeah, 33. Okay. So this needs to be updated. All right. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that too in a minute, as soon as we get through this. But he has been productive with just mediocre to trash quarterback play. Mm-hmm. And you got guys like Jamar Chase, who's had Joe Burrow his whole career. You got guys like Justin Jefferson, who, even though how we feel about Kirk Cousins is like one of the best regular season quarterbacks in the league. Now, he's trash when he gets to the playoffs, but Kirk Cousins lights it up in the regular season. So these guys have had better quarterbacks, and his Garrett Wilson's stats are almost on par with those guys, give or take a few yards. So when you look at his production with the type of quarterback play he has, yeah, I would say that he's above top 10. Because if you give him better quarterback play, he could quite possibly have the same stats, if not better stats, to some of these guys.
Could you imagine Garrett Wilson like in Kansas City?
Dear God.
So I love you said that, E, because that's a Terry McLaurin conversation as well. Do we think Garrett Wilson is going to perform as a top 5 this upcoming season? We know what he's done, but they haven't brought in a great quarterback.
No, they haven't.
Because
we know he's capable of, but
that's my point. That he's not a great quarterback, and he could probably still get 1,000 yards with Justin Fields. Because he's got 1,000 yards. Mike White, Zach Wilson, he's got 1,000 yards with these guys.
But is 1,000 yards worth being paid that particular dollar amount? If that's the case, then Terry McLaurin needs to get paid way more than him.
Terry McLaurin,
that's a different conversation.
Terry McLaurin and Garrett Wilson are both anchor wide receivers, and you pay for an anchor wide receiver. And because wait. I know. Hold your thought. You pay for these receivers because if you don't have these guys on your team, what are you going to do offensively? Because an anchor wide receiver should be taking a corner and a safety almost everywhere it goes, sometimes even a linebacker. Okay? That helps open up your offense. Everybody knows that. If you don't have these guys, that the Jets, I'm not saying the Jets are doing anything this season, but the Jets have a higher ceiling with Garrett Wilson being on that field than not being on the field. Same thing with Washington. If Washington was to trade Terry McLaurin, I know it's not going to happen, but let's say they trade Terry McLaurin. I don't care about Deebo Samuel. I don't even care about Jaden Daniels, because at that point you trade Terry McLaurin. Now all of a sudden I don't have to run 2 high shells. All I gotta do is just shut down anything underneath 10 yards, and I'm good to go.
What's the rule about contracts? You don't get paid for what you've done. You get paid for what they think you're going to do.
And that's fine, Steve. But to the point that we made about Juwan Jennings, if you pay him now, it's going to be cheaper.
That's another thing
than having to have to pay him, because he's going to be, even if they exercise his 50 option, he's going to be more expensive.
They can pay what they want. Gary Wilson ain't no top 5 receiver, and they paying him like one. That's all I'm saying. I know he didn't have good quarterbacks. I get it. It ain't about to start this season.
Wide receiver. He helps your off. He raises the ceiling and he raises the floor of your offense.
We know this, Brandon.
Okay. Then so they pay him. Pay him.
That's the thing. You don't have to pay him. You don't have to always pay them whatever they want. That's what I'm saying. Like
if you don't pay him what you want, then what you gonna do? You gonna trade him?
He wasn't gonna walk.
What you gonna trade him?
Shit, he played for the Jets. I'll be damned. Yeah, he was gonna walk.
Would you trade him?
Because he could go somewhere better. Yeah, don't exercise my 5th-year option. I'm finna go. Because I can find a team that's better and with a better quarterback, and I can get it on.
Okay. They'll pay him close to that? I'm saying they pay him a little too much. That's all I'm saying. Y'all act like I'm saying he's not good. I'm saying they paid him too much.
The thing is
because this season they're not going to be great.
Right, but they not signing him for this season.
Whose fault
is that his fault? Long term.
Is that his fault?
And it damn sure ain't his fault that they suck.
It ain't.
He doing his job.
It doesn't make me a difference. It doesn't make me a difference. They can pay him whatever they want to pay him.
Okay, but what we're saying is it's not a bad move per se, because one, to that original point, pay him now or pay him more later. 1, 2, he's already proven that what he can do with bad quarterback play. True. Next year, you got a whole new quarterback class coming in that Tristan has been glowing about. Okay, if Justin Fields don't show improve, we bring in one of these young guys. Now he's got a good quarterback, and next thing you know, he's 1,400 yards instead of just 1,000 every year.
We will hope he has a good quarterback. This is hope we're talking about, right?
Yes, but he has proven that he can.
Look, he's done his job. Listen, he's done his job. I'm agreeing. He's done all he can do. Y'all act like I'm not saying this. He's done all he can do. But a Jets organization has so many other needs.
Yeah.
I'm saying they just spent a little too much.
Steve, they rebuilding.
That's what I'm saying.
They have a new head coach.
If you're rebuilding,
why go? Look. If I'm rebuilding a house and I know my foundation is pretty good, I know my roof is pretty good, why wouldn't I go ahead and just make sure that roof and that foundation stay like it is instead of trying to tear everything up? Now I know I got a good roof. I know I got a good foundation. Let me go ahead and try to fix these damn windows. Let me go ahead and make sure my roof is straight. Okay.
No one's tearing everything up. I'm saying, okay. I'm just saying they spent a little too much. That's all I'm saying. That's just my opinion.
And the cap is going up.
Let's carry on.
And that's another thing too. The cap is not only the cap going up every year. That Buffalo Bills stadium, that new one is almost done. At some point, it's going to be done. When they move to a new stadium, that cap is going to go up even more, because as different teams start playing in Buffalo and they get all that revenue money, that cap going to really be going up.
I don't even want to get into the media deals, the new media deals that the NFL's in. They raking in a couple billion more dollars.
So we and plus you also got to remember too, Steve. Yes, he's getting paid all this money, but that don't really start kicking in for another couple of years. And to be honest with you,
it's all about structure. So yeah.
So it's not killing their cap.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, that's another thing too. They don't have an expensive quarterback. They don't have an expensive running back. They don't have an expensive tight end. They don't have an expensive offensive lineman. Quentin Williams, the most expensive defensive lineman. Everybody else I think is cheap. You just cut Katino Mobley. So you don't have an expensive linebacker. You only have an expensive player outside of Garrett Wilson and Quentin Williams is what? Sauce Gardner. Did he get his contract extension yet?
You said they cut who? Katino who?
Not Katino Mobley. CJ Mosley. You know what I'm talking about?
I like the cat. He's the Rockets. Hold on, man.
I said, wait, hold on.
To keep it moving, because we got to guess waiting, but to keep it moving, basically what me and Brandon are saying is, we're not saying that the Jets are geniuses in running that organization, because we know that's a horrible run organization, but this is the one time that we feel like it wasn't a typical air quote Jets move. We don't think that we don't believe that, because when you finally got something, because normally the Jets, they get something good and they let it walk, and they mismanage it. This was not a bad move. Yeah, it wasn't a bad transaction. So now, AFC North.
And we have a guest to bring in to represent the Pittsburgh Steelers. His name is Mac. As we welcome Mac to the program. What's up, Mac?
Not much, man. What's going on? I'm sitting here listening to y'all talk about mostly NFC East and AFC East and NFC West. I'm like, hold on, man. You brought me on to talk about my Steelers, and then we going on and on about Justin Fields. Y'all do know that word coming out of camp is he's doing the same thing that he's doing in Chicago over and over. But I just wanted to add that. That's it. That's it.
Well, again, to the point, Garrett Wilson has produced with quarterbacks that are worse than Justin Fields.
Yeah, because Zach Wilson is worse than Justin Fields.
Sure. That's hard right now. We'll see, though. I mean, anyway.
Zach Wilson, Mike White, Trevor Siemian, Tim Boyle. Come on.
Tim Boyle.
Come on.
Trevor Siemian.
These are all the starting quarterbacks during Garrett Wilson's tenure. And then you throw in Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers into his Achilles.
Yeah, here we go. Now that's a good segue into our issues. Now, you talk about that Achilles because we just picked up a guy that in the past, of course, he's a Hall of Famer. We know that, but we talk about someone that's maybe glass, and waiting behind him again. We have Mason Rudolph. I still don't understand that, but whatever, man. The moves that we're making. I'm sorry, I can't come on exactly joyous. I kind of get what they're doing. I do believe that they want to put a good product out there this year, but I really think that they're trying to hold it down as much as possible until those 12 or 13 picks for 2026. That's what I'm seeing, So I think the moves that we made, and I might be going off script. I don't even know what you guys actually.
No.
No. Actually, no. This is a good freestyle. This is a good freestyle. Keep going.
Yeah, but I think we made some moves to make us look better against the Ravens. Definitely stopping Derrick Henry. I think a lot of some of the stuff they've been putting out is definitely do that. And I think we might look a little bit better against them this year. But it's all going to come down to Aaron Rodgers and his health and how well we protect. And I really don't think we made enough solid moves on the offensive line anyway to do much more than what we do. So I'm calling us. That's kind of hard, man. I'm calling us a 9 or 10 win team again. I mean, this year, but I still without some help, I just don't see a deep playoff Super Bowl run. So I mean, I really think we're trying to hold it down and make us look good until 2026. And I'm a little upset with some of the stuff coming out of the draft and out of free agency and all other stuff this year. So usually I'm on here predicting we're gonna beat everybody in the division and all that, but I'm not a very happy camper this year. So
most Steelers fans, we know we're not happy about the things that were done this offseason with the Steelers. It's very un-Steeler-ish.
Yeah, man.
Steelers are known for making smart moves, every offseason. They're very meticulous about, okay, we're gonna bring in this guy because we know he can do this and fits and this is and so on and so forth. But man, there's some questionable things that have happened that it took all of us aback, even those of us that are not Steelers fans. We're like, wait a minute, what? That's not like them to do something like that, So but Aaron Rodgers played in y'all face the whole offseason.
You know what? That is one of the most upsetting things right there is the chase and the I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. I don't know if they actually agreed about this behind scenes and they knew he was coming eventually and they'd already discussed that. But if not, this was definitely not the Steelers Nation's best time courting him and then getting Aaron Rodgers on the field. So I hated that. I hated to see that.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of, like, we all been to high school chasing girls and everything, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
You chasing this girl, and she's the boss. She bad. She a cheerleader. She on the dance line, whatever like that. Oh man, she look good. Da, 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 and she just keep running from you. And then years later, when she looked like the lunch lady, that's when she okay, I'm yours. And like, oh hell.
No.
Oh hell. Yeah, that's what it felt like with the Steelers running behind Aaron Rodgers. It's like, God, dog, come on, man. You know, and it's like, honestly, I think the move is, and I'm gonna let the guys speak for themselves. This is just me talking. I think the move would have been to just go ahead and go with what you got.
No, that's even worse.
And yeah, but you go with what you got. You get a higher draft pick, you got a better chance of snagging a better quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, but that's still not us. That's still not us either. I mean, and again, we sitting on what 12? I think 13 picks right now for 2026. I wish we would have. I know we picked up Will Howard in the third round. I watched him at Ohio State. I watched last year. It looks like we went to Ohio State and really picked up quite a number of them. But I just think that we could have done a little bit better in the draft with the quarterback. I've been saying this for years. We should have picked a replacement for Ben while Ben was still playing. I never understood why we didn't pick.
That was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake.
Oh man, every year. I mean, we're going back in time now. But I said that every year it was. I mean, because he would get hurt, especially towards the interviews and the way he played. We'd have somebody like Mason Rudolph come in, or Lord for some reason. I don't know. If all the tape from Chicago was erased, we decided to get Trubisky. I still don't understand stuff like that to this day. But anyway, I'm not a very happy camper with all the moves we made. But now I will say I do like Thomas. I do like Johnson. I really do like. I always forget that kid's name out of Ohio State, man. But I like him, and I like. Black. I really think if I think anyone who's going to make some impact on our team is going to be Yahya Black. Man, that kid can play, and he can plug. Get him and Ben in there together. I think they're going to stop some stuff up front. So it'll be harder to run on, which I think was the goal with some of these draft picks for right now. But offensive wise, we're gonna live and die by Rodgers. I mean, and when you have a back, especially with a former Achilles injury, I don't care what no one says. That stuff never really. I've never seen. I know science and technology and medicine is a lot better than it was when Marino and the rest of them playing. But I've never seen one come back to play the same as they played before that or last much longer. And that just scares me because I don't think our offensive line did well enough last year for a quarterback like that. So I'm not sure how well we're going to protect him, to be perfectly honest.
And it's also when his injury happened in his life. It's like you have an injury at that rate. You're in your 40s when you have that.
40s, yep.
Yeah, right.
Like, if he's in his 20s, we have a different discussion,
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let me ask you a couple questions. How do you feel about the DK Metcalf trade from Seattle and then trading George Pickens to Dallas? And then how do you feel about trading Minkah Fitzpatrick to Miami for basically, tight end Jonah Smith and DB Jalen Ramsey?
Okay. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think Metcalf was a good trade. I think Pickens was a good trade. Man, I'm telling you now, that kid, if you watch him doing games, he takes so many plays off. Now we see when he make plays, but you watch him for every play he makes, he's taking probably 3 or 4 off. You watch him backside, or if he's not taking it off after they didn't got on in one game about it, next game he's gonna come back and do something stupid, and at a critical moment, and you see penalties fly. So. Pickens has all the talent, all the capabilities, all that. But if you watch him, you watch the games, you can see backside or wherever, he's taking plays off. I'm saying for every play he makes, he's taking 3 off. Just not doing nothing. Or he's going to do something stupid to make up for the ones, like I said, and chew them off on the sidelines, and he come back and he'll do do something stupid and make a play like that. Now, as far as Minka, yeah, nah, and I'll put it this way. He hasn't made the plays that he typically has over the last couple of years. But and they talk about communication issues. I really think Minka was probably the general of that secondary.
But
And I
this is
think the
he comes from Alabama.
What are our questions?
He comes from Alabama under Saban. Listen, and people who don't know, Saban knows DBs.
yeah, I
Saban knows
don't like that one.
so Minka Fitzpatrick knew that defense inside out because he had been there for so long.
He was the general of that, definitely in the secondary. And they were talking about communication issues. You can't put that on him because you can see him directing folks and directing folks and on the sidelines explaining and doing stuff like that. I think we lost a lot with that. I think he hadn't made as many plays because hell he been trying to get everybody else in position and do stuff and cover stuff and so yeah, no, I don't like that because right now we're sitting at it's safety, and it's horrible. We got what Thornhill.
Thornhill has not lived up to a second round pedigree. And
Absolutely
my thing
not.
is, and my thing is this: I think Jalen Ramsey is a smart DB, but you asking him to come in and learn that defense and learn all adjustments and tags because yes, there are tags and within different coverages for different situations as well. You asking him to do all this stuff basically on the fly. Now, yes, you have an off season to do it, but he just got there in June, right?
Yeah, that's not a lot of time.
Right, so
that's not a lot of time.
Right.
But the thing is, not only are you asking him to do that, you're asking him to take the place of someone who is, I really think, the general of that secondary, if not the defense itself, when it comes to putting people in the right position.
Right. So
making up stuff.
Right. So if you're talking about communication issues last year, I think it gets worse this year.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget that Jalen Ramsey is not the dude that he thinks he is anymore.
Right.
And he still believes he's like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it's like, bro, no, you be getting cooked. And
not only does he get cooked, he's out of position. You go back and look at him, he's out of position a lot. I mean, and that kind of shit. If you asking, I mean, he's been playing corner and nickel or whatever in that defense, and he's out of position at that. And you want to, they're talking about trying to get him in to play some free safety and all that. Man, what do you think will happen with that? I mean, because with the free safety and strong safety, that's like, I mean, when it comes other than probably your lead linebacker, that's probably one of the most important positions on the defensive side of the ball.
Definitely, especially when it comes to, again, being that center field guy, being that general guy who makes all those different calls and stuff. That's vital. And people who don't know, there's a lot of clips on IG when Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, of course they retired now, but they talk about how much communication is so critical. Those two talk about how much communication is critical on defense. And yes, a lot of smart coaches rely on their inside backers and their safeties to make a lot of those communication on defense.
They have to. I mean, they have to. And not only that, they have to be able to come up and kind of diagnose stuff and come in and say, man, this is what we're seeing and this is what they're doing and all that. And I just think Minka, especially since he's been playing that same type of defense for so long. And I mean, again, like they said, I mean, he had last couple years, he hadn't made the plays that he made before. But man, that almost seemed like it wasn't really his role anymore to do it. I mean, you're on the field to do that, but it seemed like to me he was more quarterback in the defense. I mean, he's definitely defense secondary. So I mean, he made plays when they count to me anyway. He was in positions, broke up plays when they needed to break them up, and you can depend on that, make tackles when they need to make tackles and all that. Or you can see they'll show like you watching it, they show him pointing out over there and all that other stuff, and so it's the little things like that, man, that disrupts the big plays.
Let me ask you a question. Is he trying to get people lined up and doing all this stuff because you have a lot of new faces in the secondary, or have these guys been there for a while where they should know what to do, but they have an airhead moment?
I don't know. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think he's a leader. I think that's just what he does. No. I mean, and the reason I say that is not because the other guys can't play as well, but I think that's what he does. Leaders lead. If he steps up, he sees that stuff, diagnoses it, or picks up on little. This receiver's pointing this way. He's showing this. He's doing this. Hey, man, this right here, I've seen this on film. Because you watch Hard Knocks, and you kind of see him doing that in practice and talking about that stuff and doing that stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that defense is going to depend a lot on Porter now. I think Elliott's going to have to step up a lot more. So, I mean, we'll see. We got the front seven. We got to. Now, I will say if one part of the team improved, it would be definitely the front seven. We got to get Watt back under contract, but out of the contract, extend that.
Talk to us about that.
He gonna get paid. You can't, man. You can't let it. They've been floating that around, but based on what I've been reading, there's been no official offers, no approaches. They haven't approached anybody officially for Watt. Man, you better pay that man. I mean, I know he wants Garrett Miles money. And shit, I still think he have a few more. I'm sorry, I'm about to lay. I still think he have a few more years. I still think he have a few more productive years. He makes plays when he needs to make plays, man.
Watt and Garrett should be around the same age because they came out the same year, right?
If I'm not mistaken,
they came out the same year. I know they came out the same year because that draft it was Garrett, Watt, and I hate saying this because I'm a Cowboys fan, but Taco Charlton came out. The Dolphins drafted Charles Harris, and there was another edge rusher that's named, it slips my mind, that came out that same year. It was about 5 guys that came out that year. It was Garrett Watt, Taco Charlton, who didn't do anything, Charles Harris from Missouri, and there was another pass rusher who came out that year as well.
He's only older than Myles Garrett by a couple of months.
A couple months, that's why I figured that. So my thing is, if Garrett was able to get his money, Watt should be able to get his money. I mean, like I said, they're the same age, came out the same year. Oh, yeah. People make it sound like TJ Watt is like 35 or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, he's still productive. And now with the picks that we had, I don't think he may get more of a breather now than we have, because I think Sawyer coming along, Sawyer be able to do a few things. Sawyer out of Ohio State, I predict he'll be able to do it. Then you get Nick Herbert in some more. They can rotate him out right now, but yeah, TJ Watt will still be productive. He make plays when he need to make plays, man. That's all that is.
Actually, TJ Watt is more versatile than Myles Garrett because TJ Watt can actually rush from a standing position. He can drop into coverage.
He has dropped into coverage and disrupted quite a few plays.
Yeah, he deserves it. He deserves it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I agree with that.
Man, they the Steelers have a history of and they're known for being cheap. Basically, lowball. I mean, that's the truth. They're known for that, but you got to pay this guy right here, man. I mean, it'd be insanity. If Khan tries to screw this one up, man. You got to pay this guy.
Yeah, he's worth that money. It's
absolutely.
It's just certain players on certain teams, and we talk about filling out everything, but you have your cornerstone players for every franchise. TJ Watt is one of them for the Steelers, and I feel like Minka was one too. And
yes, he was.
So you got.
He's a leader. He's definitely a leader, and that's gonna be hard. I'm sorry, that's gonna be hard to replace right there. That leadership right there. So.
Yeah, those cornerstone guys, you can't let them walk out of your building. You got to let them retire. You let them retire as a Steeler. They no, you ain't going nowhere. We don't care how much you take. Come on, like that.
That trade, I don't understand. I know we got a cornerback, we got a tight end, we got Smith and all that, but we already had a pretty nice tight end room.
Nice.
Yeah, fire move. I really think they need to work on developing Washington more too, man. I mean, you got a guy 6'7". You got your extra lineman there, but he can still catch, and he still got some. He still got a little enough speed. I don't understand what they're doing with him. I figured he would play more of a role last year, but who knows?
You know what? There's a lot of offensive coordinators, and I hate to say this. There's a lot of offensive coordinators who just don't know how to use certain football players when they get them. You said, he's a good run blocker. He has enough juice to do what you need to do in the passing game. you know how to use them. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know how to use them, there's so much film in the past and history of another tight end probably similar to him that you could probably go back and look at and say, oh, you know what? This is what this team did using. Matter of fact, he came out of Georgia, right? Go look at what he did. What happened in Georgia?
Yeah. I mean, it's easy. He's 6'7", big body, 300 pounds. He can catch, he can jump. You get down low, man. When we get in the red zone, it's amazing. Right? It's amazing how we did not use him down there. It's amazing. I would say it every game. I'm like, man, just put it up. All you got to do, that's it. There's nobody can cover that guy down low. You just put it up with that big body like that, man. Come on, it was very disappointing. Well, I'm watching that. I said, and you know what? On y'all show last year, I said that before. I'm looking for him to have a big season, and they just didn't happen. I mean, they gave him a few passes here and there, and he delivered on those. But I just don't know.
And like I said, there's a lot of head scratching. I think that's the best way. If you said one term for the Steelers this offseason, it would be head scratching. Yeah, they've done some things. It's like that's not what they do. This is not. Yeah. This is not what the Steelers do. So
I truly think. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I truly think that, and I hate to say it, that we just want to put out a good product to be competitive, and have what I call a puncher's chance, later on and wait for those 12, 13 picks. But that's not us. That's not the way we do. We always want to be competing for a championship, and all that. Now we just want a playoff win. That's it. I mean, I think that's it. I think we want to look better against the Ravens. And I think, and I think run-wise we will. It just depends on what type of game. I'm gonna say his name. I'm just saying Lamar's having that game because I really think we built a team to stop the run a lot better. This team is built to try to stop Henry. So I really do. But anyway, I'm a little frustrated at the moment.
No, it's understandable.
And listen. And this is a good segue too. There's another team that just does frustrating things as well in the same division, and that's the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson doesn't look like he's going to be there too much longer at quarterback. I think he's on injury reserve and already out for the season again. But you have Joe Flacco, who's a veteran, just like Aaron Rodgers is, and also won a Super Bowl, just like Aaron Rodgers. But you also have Kenny Pickett, who is on his third team already. Mm-hmm. He was drafted by you guys in the first round. Shouldn't have been drafted in the first round.
Absolutely not.
You have Dylan Gabriel, who I think was drafted in the third or fourth round this year. And they drafted Shedeur Sanders, I believe, in the fifth round this year. So they have a very interesting quarterback room in Cleveland. Running back room just got worse because not only did they get rid of Nick Chubb, but that guy just got arrested, Quashawn Jenkins, for something. I forgot what he did.
Domestic violence.
Domestic violence. Thank you. So, so that's gonna be interesting to see what happens on that front with him. Outside of Jerry Jeudy, I don't know who's a wide receiver in Cleveland. David Njoku, huh?
This kind of thing.
Yeah, David Njoku has been a Cleveland Brown outside of Myles Garrett and Joe Thomas. He's been the most consistent Cleveland Brown outside those two over the last 10, 15 years. Outside of Myles Garrett, who can you name on the defensive line? And maybe I just haven't looked at the roster. Linebacker.
You got Devin Bush on the strong side. Jordan, your Mike Backer.
Who?
It's not much to.
Who's the Mike Backer?
The Mike Backer is Jordan Hicks.
Okay, because I was going to say the other guy, he suffered that neck injury last year, so I don't know when he's coming back or if he is coming back.
The only thing they have going for them is good coaching on the defensive side of football.
And good secondary.
And the secondary is strong.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett. Miles Garrett.
Outside of Miles Garrett, but Cleveland don't have much of anything, and I'm starting to think Cleveland probably just need to start over. I know they have new quarterback and everything. I mean, not new quarter. Well, they do have new quarterbacks, but it's a mess.
First, they need to decide who their quarterback is going to be. That's the first thing.
Cleveland
move out of Cleveland
since they came back.
Yeah, that's been the issue since they've come back. It's like, okay, who is
the quarterback and
who's going to be the quarterback?
And the thing is, they drafted so many different guys in the first round over the years.
Mm-hmm.
No one's lasted long enough. They try to trade for Deshaun Watson. That's going down the toilet. Like you said, who's the quarterback and who's going to be the quarterback long term?
I think this year their philosophy was like, y'all remember the movie Predator?
Yeah.
So you remember when Jesse Ventura's character got killed, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Mac, his buddy, he picked up the minigun and the minigun started shooting, and they all came and started shooting.
Right.
They trying to get accuracy by volume, and they went and they just like, okay, I'm gonna get this quarterback and this quarterback and this quarterback. One of them gotta work. I think that's really what they think. It's like, bruh, you didn't have a clear-cut idea about what you're doing. You just decide we're gonna grab whatever quarterback is available that we kind of like. That's what it feels like. They just shooting the jungle and hoping they hit the predator.
They are
Browns,
throwing darts at a target with a blindfold on.
Yeah,
that's what they're doing.
They shooting blind, and like it's trying to accuracy by volume. But I just the only thing they got going for them is that they're decently coached. They got good coaching, but the cupboards. It's not bare, but you only got like a can of green beans in there. And a pack of ramen noodles. That's really, and, that's about it. And it's like, and we're talking about the AFC North, which is one of the best divisions in football, one of the toughest divisions in football. And it's like you're not gonna be able to compete like that. So, moving on, so we won't stay too long.
Not only that, you got to remember, man, and I say this every year I talk to you guys, they still are the Cleveland Browns. I don't care what happened, how well they are, how well they look on paper, they're going to find a way to brown it up. I say it every year, and I mean that, man. I don't know what it is, but it just is. I can't explain it, man. It just is.
That's sad. And the thing about it is sad because, like I said, every year since they have come back, they have been horrendous. They have changed general managers. They have changed head coaches. They have changed offensive coordinators. They have changed defensive coordinators. They have changed quarterbacks. There's no stability. And I'm like, at some point, somebody needs to put their foot down and try to bring some kind of stability to this organization. I think Kevin Stefanski's probably been the longest tenured coach probably since the Browns went back. I haven't looked at it yet. But I think I might be right. He's probably the longest tenured coach since they've been back.
Yeah, they're well coached, and it's just because you see those flashes, those moments that they have.
Yeah, they do flash.
Okay, Cleveland. Then like the next week, it's like, what the heck was that?
They do. It's like, they do flash. I ain't gonna lie, they do flash.
Yeah. So it's like they lack consistency. But moving on to another team. That it just one side of the ball is just completely jacked up for them. It's Cincinnati Bengals. Like, and I said it before, Cincinnati go out there and lose a game 94-96. It's like they will put up points, they will put up yards, but that defense will say, "Hey man, I ain't got it."
They don't have. I don't know. That.
Trey Hendrickson, the only one that's trying to play for him. And and now he talking about he possibly wants to get traded unless they pay him. And I'm like, why would you not pay this man? Because he is all that has been there for your defense.
Yep. And it's like they don't get it. It's like they don't get it.
He is.
So they're not watching the same film everybody else is watching, man. I don't know. They're not evaluating the way everybody else is evaluating.
Yeah, because Joe Burrow is out there.
Right. But he can be Superman and it don't matter on the other side, man. That's it.
It's like, and that's going to be the issue with them. It was the issue last year. I think it's going to be the issue again this year. I haven't seen a lot of moves that they've made that makes me say, "Oh yeah, this is better."
And Mac, let me tell you something too, man. And I'm a front seven guy, and especially on defensive line. I think Cincinnati made one of the worst first round draft picks this past year and drafted Shamar Stewart.
Oh my God. Don't get me started.
Now, Eric and I are on the same page. Mac, I don't know how much you know about Shamar Stewart. If you know anything, just give me your input on how you feel about Shamar Stewart. Because, like I said,
man,
go ahead.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, man. I was so disgusted by what we were doing in the draft. I haven't had a chance to really catch up on what the Bengals would do, but
no, I understand.
They need quite a bit of help in the run, and they need quite a bit of help in the passing game. I mean, the Bengals. So I'm not really familiar with who this kid is, but they probably needed 3 or 4 more.
So let me tell you something. Shamar Stewart was this year's underwear Olympics champion. Okay. He was athletic as hell. He tested very, very well. You know what I'm saying? He can do backflips, front flips, cartwheels. He can do push-ups. He can climb a mountain, and he can dunk a 15-foot basket. Okay.
All of that in the combine now. Just the combine.
Yeah.
But put on the film.
You put on the film. First of all, let me matter of fact, I'm not even going to mention film. This is what I'm going to mention. This man played 3 years of college football. I think, I'm trying to remember, I think he only had 11 sacks in those 3 years combined.
3 years combined.
11 sacks. It's not 11 sacks each year where you end up with 33. He had 11 sacks combined in those 3 years. To me, that's alarming. Now, if you would have sat here and said, hey, this past season he had 11 sacks, the previous year he had like 8 or 9, the previous year he had 5, 6, or 7, I could sit and say, okay, look, he's improving, he gotten better, blah, blah, blah. He might have did some stuff, D-line coach told him, hey, look, just work on this thing, you might make it better. And that's fine. No, you had 11 sacks in 3 years. Then, let me say something else. The school he came out of, he was not the best defensive lineman coming out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, A&M. I'm looking at it now. Oh, no, he sure wasn't.
Okay. He had 2 other guys, in my opinion, who performed better than him. Yeah. Then there was a guy who was a backup behind all those guys who outperformed him in the bowl game that they played, and he didn't come out this year. He's coming out probably next year or something. I need to double check that. Then there was a guy who transferred from A&M who was there with Shamar Stewart and played better than he did. So you're looking at 4 different players who, to me, outperformed Shamar Stewart at Texas A&M at some point or another, and people jumped and people loved him to death because he was able to push a car down the street, or he was able to jump over Ferrari. Let's say that he was able to jump over Ferrari, and people went crazy.
What was that guy back in the days? Marinovic? What was the big offensive tackle?
Oh yeah, the Green Bay Packers drafted him.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
So like that, right?
Yeah. I can't think of his name either. Yeah, got caught up in steroids and all that.
Yeah.
The offensive tackle. Yeah.
Offensive tackle.
Big and strong, look good, but it's terrible on the.
He was drafted at 89 with Aikman, Barry Sanders, and Deion Sanders, and Derek Thomas.
Yeah. He was terrible footwork. Everybody gave up sack after sack, all that other stuff. I remember kind of similar to that, man. They're looking at metrics that don't really matter. So,
But basically with Cincinnati is, they're gonna be able to light it up on offense without question. It's just gonna be, how good is the defense gonna be? And then that's the big question mark, because they have not done, in our eyes, they have not done enough. If there's any Cincinnati fans watching, please come in the comment box and tell us, what have you done better on defense that makes, I
said they went heavy on defense, though. Edge, linebacker.
Right. You have to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they definitely need to.
Offense ain't the problem. The offense is definitely not the problem. The offense was rolling, but But moving on, division champions last year, the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. I can't remember. Did Lamar Jackson win the MVP again last year?
No, it was Josh Allen.
No, he didn't. No,
okay.
Yeah.
It was Josh Allen.
Okay, Josh Allen. But yeah, so I know he's a runner-up, but so my thing with Baltimore is they're solid. Again, I don't know. Still, this has been the question every year. If y'all go back and look at the film from last year when we was talking about it, like what are they going to do at wide receiver? I just don't feel like they do enough at wide receiver each year. They don't take the wide receiver position seriously in Baltimore. Right now, you're starting wide receivers in Baltimore, DeAndre Hopkins and Zay Flowers. DeAndre Hopkins, 4 years ago, I'd have been like, ooh, but
right, you took too long.
Yeah, Zay Flowers, he's solid, but it's like they got a bunch of 2s and 3s in their receiver. They don't have a 1. They've never really had a 1. Mark Andrews, I know people giving him hell about that drop in the playoffs, but I still think he's very serviceable. Is he one of the top 3 tight ends in the league now? Not anymore.
But they have a great tight end room because it's him and Isaiah Likely.
Isaiah Likely he's solid. But Mark Andrews is not that guy anymore. Kind of like Mark Andrews was taking that trajectory of a Travis Kelce. Can he still play? Yeah. Is he the threat that he once was? No. No. And Baltimore has more. What I really like what Baltimore did in the offseason was if you look at Baltimore's secondary on paper, dear God, that's the most secondary coaches to dream of.
Yeah, they went in. I mean Starks out of Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, you got Chido Awuzie on the bench. That's solid depth. The second-year guy, T.J. Tampa, came out of Iowa State. Solid. But your starters are Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins, which Jair Alexander might supplant one of them, but you got 3 solid corners. And, Brandon, you know what I always say about DBs. How many do you need?
More.
And they answer that question. You got Malachi.
Especially you play that type of defense.
Right.
Especially that type of defense. Right.
Exactly. You got Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton as your starting safety. Jesus.
I think the biggest question for Baltimore is not just the wide receiver room, is what is going to happen when the playoffs roll around. And I know it's not easy because that conference, not the division, the conference is so loaded, but
brutal. It's brutal.
But at some point, what are you guys going to do? Because you guys, it seemed like you get close, but you just don't finish when you get to like maybe the AFC Championship game. And it's not hard. I mean, excuse me. It's hard to get to the AFC Championship game. It's harder to get to the Super Bowl. I get that. I do. And it's much harder to win it all. I get that. At some point, you got to get over that hump and just to get to the Super Bowl, man. Because you have everything. And now is the time to take advantage of it.
Now, it seems to me a lot of their problems gets to be in those games play calling, man. I mean, you look at what they have and what they've done. It seems like a lot of times they just turn it off and switch to something else that makes no sense. I've seen that a number of times. I'm like, man, they helping us. I appreciate that. Yeah, don't get a ball to Henry the next few 3 or 4 times. So,
man,
yeah, I love it. I love that, man. They beat themselves when it comes to that sometimes.
I agree with you, Mac. I think it is play calling because, you got what you need to really.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, every year we watch Baltimore be dominant throughout the season, and then it gets to this rubber meets the road moment, deep in the playoffs. And it's like, hey, man, what y'all? Hey,
they just want to switch up completely. Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all.
Do not change who you are.
Right.
Do not change who you are. If you're air raid offense, be an air raid offense. Don't try to be a single wing offense. If you're If you're a flex bone offense, don't sit here and try to be a run and shoot offense. Be who you are. And Baltimore gets away from that. And even with the new offensive coordinator, listen, and listen, I like Todd Monk and what he's done for Baltimore as an offensive coordinator and what he's done really for Lamar Jackson in that passing game.
Yeah, he's become a better passer.
And that kind of helps mitigate not having that anchor wide receiver, but it would still be lovely if they had one. But for some reason, when they get to the playoffs, they just it's like their brain just melt.
Yeah, I think some of that too, man, is I would say with the AFC North, because by the time you get out of playing 2-3 games against the Steelers, or the Steelers and the Ravens play 2 or 3 games, man, you all beat up, and then a lot of times some of those games come out like winning it is almost like the Super Bowl. It's one of those old rivalry type things. But you're right. Sometimes they just find ways to play, and I think for some reason they outthink themselves. I don't know. So especially last year, what I saw a lot of that was like play calling, and 'cause I thought they were going all the way personally.
And I don't have a dog in the fight for either team, but I'm telling you, that's 2 games I never.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be close, or it's gonna be good games every time.
I will watch that game. Don't have a dog in the fight, but I will watch that game from beginning to end when the Steelers and the Ravens play each other. Because that's just always. I don't care. Forget the records. Forget the rosters.
Every time, every year.
It's a good game every year.
Every year, and no matter who's out,
Yeah.
This person out. You're like, yeah, man, it's gonna be hard. Like, nah, not this game. Nah, not this game, brother. It's still gonna be a lot of knockdown, drag outs, and then eventually in some of those games, somebody may break out towards the end. But it's never over till it's over in that game. Those games, I love them, man. You're always on the edge of your seat when you're watching, especially as a Steelers fan,
Yeah.
So it just is what it is.
I'm gonna cover the strength of schedule of these 4 teams, and then we're gonna get to our picks, and then we're gonna bring it on home. This year, the Ravens have the 9th hardest schedule in the NFL. The Steelers have the 10th. Cleveland has the 13th, and Cincinnati looked out and got the 14th hardest schedule. So they still have the top half of the league in the toughest schedules in strength of schedule. So let's go ahead and get to picks. Mac, you are our guest. This is how we do it. Basically, we go snake style. So everybody goes and names the team that they think is going to finish 4th. And then the last person goes and names their 3rd, and we swing back the way. So we do it snake style. So for 4th place, Mac, who do you think is going to finish last in the division this year?
Browns.
Okay.
Browns.
Cleveland.
Absolutely.
All right. Let me see. Okay, I'm next. All right. So I have Cleveland as well, finishing dead last. And my rationale for that is the cupboard's kind of bare. It's bare on both sides. It's not like you can look at some teams where they got all of this over here. They like it a little bit over here, but they got all of this over here. Cleveland is like, okay, what they going to do over here? And what are they going to do over here? So that's why I have Cleveland as my last place team. Brandon.
I have Cleveland at number 4 as well. The cover is better, yes. I still like the defense enough just because I like the defensive coordinator and Jim Schwartz. Okay.
I like.
But offensively, I don't know who your quarterback is. Your running back just got he's not suspended, but he got in trouble.
He gonna get suspended.
Who outside of Jerry Jeudy, who's your wide receiver? And David Njoku is, like I said, he's Mr. Cleveland Brown behind Myles Garrett and Joe Thomas.
Yeah, he's been there and been producing, but it's like it's tough sledding.
Yeah.
All right. So Steve picked Pittsburgh to finish last.
Okay.
He had to step out. He's not able to rationalize his pick. And then Tristan also picked Pittsburgh to finish last.
Okay.
Mac, who is your 3rd place team?
Cincinnati.
Wow.
Okay.
Cincinnati. They can't stop anybody, and they can't keep running that offense the way they run that offense, man, without people figuring it out. So I'm expecting adjustments defensively, we saw some. I think we saw some better performances, especially in key moments during games by all three teams against the Bengals last year. They made adjustments when they needed to, and I think that's going to continue to improve. I don't think they can stop anybody. You can't stop anybody. You can't win. I think people are going to figure that offense out more and more. Uh, Now, again, it's going to depend on I think teams running games because I think you can slow them down with the running game. I think we did somewhat of a good job for a little while against them, but I really don't think the Bengals have a chance. The only if the Browns win in our divisions, I think they would be last because the Browns are going to be the Browns. So anyway, but yeah, Bengals are third.
Okay, my third place team is Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
um, because I got faith in Mike Tomlin, but I just don't trust Aaron Rodgers to be able to play out the whole sled in this division. In this division, I don't trust Aaron Rodgers playing the whole season. I just don't. I don't like that Minka Fitzpatrick's not on the back end anymore.
Mhm.
Moving people around, getting people lined up the right way. That's a big problem for me. But Mike Tomlin is still probably gonna win 8 to 9 games because that's what Mike Tomlin do. And the only downside about that is that, draft position. They're gonna win enough games to kind of move themselves out of a really good position to probably get Aaron Rodgers' successor. So and we'll see how that plays out as we get closer to April. But I got Pittsburgh in third. Brandon.
I got him in third as well. You said it, man. Don't trust Aaron Rodgers. And I get it. DK Metcalf is going to play harder than George Pickens. But my problem with DK Metcalf is I think as a football player, and Eric and I, we jump on this all the time. That man has underperformed at wide receiver for someone with his physical size and his physical abilities. That man is 6'4", 235, ran a 4.340, but he can't run routes to save his life.
His route tree is limited.
And that's one of the reasons why Seattle wanted to get rid of him. And that's going to end up being a problem because now you're asking him to be your primary receiver. And yeah, you can throw post routes, go routes, corner routes, and slants, but that's all you can really do with him. And also, as Eric has said, he's another receiver that
Crash.
acts like a YN, a crash out. That all you gotta do is get under his skin,
He's
and
gone.
he's out the game.
Mm-hmm. His head is out of the game for the rest of
And also going back to him underperforming, that guy's a 6'4" wide receiver. You don't see that man going up getting jump ball passes like how Randy Moss used to do or how Dez Bryant used to do. That man just runs and just catch the ball, and it's like, dude, you really should be a dog out there. You really should be a dog out there, and I just don't see dog in DK Metcalf. I see honestly, and even though Pickens is a crash out too, I'm sorry, I see more dog in Pickens than I see in DK Metcalf. That's just me.
Yeah, the funny thing is, before George Pickens was traded, we were saying, "Oh, they got the crash out twins in Pittsburgh. Like they gonna both be fighting when they should be running routes." It's like, man, what they gonna do? All right, let's move on. Steve has Cleveland as his third team, and so does Tristan. I don't know why, but okay. Mac, we're back on you. Your second place team.
That's us. I think that's us. I think we'll win enough. We'll win enough to end up in second place. I think we'll end up with enough wins to make it to the playoffs. I look, and I'll say it again. I just our team. We get them in Pittsburgh. We get enough wins. I don't like the things we've done, but I do think that we made enough moves on the defensive front to hurt a lot of teams. I do think we made enough moves. I think Rodgers plays enough to help us win some games. And again, as much as it gets on my nerves that Tomlin, always breaks 500s and never wins playoffs, that we do find ways to win down the stretch. Well, not win down the stretch. We do find ways to win enough games to be competitive. Well, it's on us. All we got to do is win this game. This game we in. So I think we make the playoffs again. I just in our division alone, Cincinnati can't stop anybody. I think teams figured it out. And again, I'm gonna say this again: Cleveland is Cleveland. So I'm basing it on that.
Okay. I have Cincinnati as my second team. I feel like they're gonna lose. Like I said, they're gonna lose some games 96-93. But there are gonna be some games where they're gonna play some teams that's not gonna be able to match their offensive firepower. And I think they're banking on getting into track meets with teams. Now there's gonna be some teams that can go blow for blow with them in a track meet, but there are gonna be some teams that aren't gonna be able to last with them. And they're gonna, like I said, they'll win some games 93-96, and they're gonna lose some games 103-102. It's like that's just the Cincinnati way. So I have them as my second place team. I don't think they still got enough to deal with Baltimore, especially with that improved secondary in Baltimore. Brandon.
Yeah, Cincinnati, man. They have the best pocket passing quarterback in the division, and him as a mental quarterback. Like I know you say people will pick up on that offense. Joe Burrow's no slouch mentally as a quarterback, man. Like we can sit here, we can talk about that Josh Allen can throw the ball 95 yards down the field. We can talk about how fast Lamar Jackson can run the football. But when it comes to being what a quarterback truly is, that's Joe Burrow. That is Joe Burrow. If they figure out that offense, I think Joe Burrow will be able to figure out the defense, especially down the other teams, what they're trying to do to stop them down the stretch. That might be a 3 to 5 week problem, and then it get fixed halfway through the season, and they just keep it moving.
All right. Steve and Tristan both picked Cincinnati to finish second in the division. I'm assuming I got Cincinnati getting the wild card. I think they do too. So that leaves pretty much. I think we got a consensus all the way across.
Yeah, unfortunately. Don't even make me say it, but yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you say it, man. That's why I said it.
So whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that's like me. That's like me picking the damn Rams to win the West.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I feel you, man. But I think Baltimore is going to. They're going to win this division. I don't know if they'll be the 1 or 2 seed. I feel like Kansas City's taking kind of a step back.
I think so too.
I think they're going to have a Super Bowl hangover this season. We covered them. We covered them a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
But I think they're going to have a Super Bowl hangover. They're going to be good enough to make the playoffs again. But I think Baltimore, if they're going to do it, this will be their year to try to get the 1 seed and have all those how the road to the Super Bowl go through M&T. So they got it. It's on them. It's on.
They won't sweep us. They won't sweep us. I say that now.
Yeah, I don't think that Baltimore is going to sweep Cincinnati or Pittsburgh. I think they'll sweep the Browns.
Almost everybody's gonna sweep the Browns.
And I'm on hot take, and you can go ahead and
I think the Buckeyes can sweep the Browns. Yeah.
I believe so. I believe that too. I think that Cleveland's gonna be drafted somewhere in the top 10 or at worst the top 5 next year. Again, I believe that. I really believe that. That's a hot take because we ain't played a game yet, but I think that there's a chance they could be drafted in the top 5 again next year.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. I haven't looked. I've looked at different teams, but I haven't looked at the totality of the entire NFL to really make that conclusion. But it wouldn't surprise me.
What, man? Look, I think with 12, 13 picks, I'm really thinking we're saving all these picks to make some moves in the draft 2026 for that franchise quarterback. I think we're trading picks off to the 1 or 2 seed, and we're getting somebody. That's
next season.
Watch Con for a long time.
You want to do it? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So my question becomes, and this can be the last question of the show. You say you have 12 to 13 picks. That's fine. What do those picks? What do some of those picks look like? Do you have like how many first round picks, how many second round picks, how many third round picks? Because that will determine how much you'll be able to get up in the first round.
I can find out real quick. Hold on, but it is a number of them are coming in the second and third round.
Because if you all have, and it also depends on the team and probably where they're gonna end up falling. Because let's see,
3 in the third. Let's see.
Okay, so okay, I see 1 in the third from Dallas.
They have a bunch of comp picks.
Yeah, that's what we're getting quite a few compensatory picks.
I'm not saying much.
Oh, watch, man! Somebody's gonna want that. I guarantee you that somebody's gonna want a lot of those picks. And knowing Khan will make a trade for something like that. That with some players, it's time to go. We'll get to move up. I guarantee you. And not only that, next year is supposed to be a real quarterback heavy. Heavy
like I
draft.
said, this the draft.
We definitely know that. We definitely know that.
Yeah, we've been talking about that at nauseum.
Right.
About this coming draft. Tristan is our resident quarterback whisperer, and he's not on right now. But he has talked a lot about how much better this coming draft in 26 is so much better than this past year's draft.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be worth. Yeah, it's gonna be worth. This will be the year to do it. If you're gonna try to find your franchise guy, this will be the year to do it.
And that's what I think they're building on, man. I really do think that's what he's been working on right there. So, hey, man, but look, I want to thank y'all for having me on again every year. I got an early day tomorrow, man, so I got to check out. But it's always fun talking to y'all when it comes up. I just wish sometimes I could catch up with y'all again, especially like after last year when we beat the Ravens. When nobody expected us to beat the Ravens. I just wanted to talk to trash. Like I told y'all what was going to happen to them. They wouldn't sweep us. I remember I was on the show last year. Y'all was talking about sweep and all the rest of that. My boys broke my heart later on in the season with that foolishness. But still, man, I was happy as hell when we stomped them the first time. So, but anyway, maybe this year after we beat them the first 2 times, and then mess it up in the playoffs knowing us, but still. so we'll get back together whenever, though, man. But it's always fun talking to you fellas.
Well, yeah, you're welcome back anytime, man.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show. And you already know you're already invited for next year, man. So go ahead and get ready for that.
Oh yeah. Hopefully I'll be talking about our franchise quarterback then too.
Hopefully, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, take it easy, fellas.
Hopefully Pittsburgh can clean up some stuff, man. But take it easy, all right?
Take it easy, man.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, y'all be cool. All right, bye-bye.
All right, peace.
Brandon, take us home.
All right, so we thank Mac for joining the show, helping us cover the AFC North as he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Next week, because we are talking, well, because the Eagles won the division, they're going last. So we'll be talking AFC East next week. That means Jets, Dolphins, Bills, and Patriots. So next week we'll be covering AFC East.
We do have vacancies for fans. Dolphins are already covered, but we do have spots for the Bills, Patriots, and Jets fans. If you'd like to join our show and be a guest like we've had in the past, we also need guests for pretty much the entire NFC East the following week, which is July 28th.
I thought we need to check on some stuff.
But if you'd like to be a guest, contact us on any of our social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, any of those, any of our social media platforms. You can contact us, DM us, say, hey, I'd like to be a guest on your show representing Team X. And then we'll get with you. We'll vet you. And if you're you know what you're talking about, then we'll have you on the show.
All right. So Like I said, next week we cover AFC East and then NFC East, and that'll be it. Um, it was good having Steve back on the show again. Hopefully next week all four of us will be on. We'll see what happens. But anyway, let's shut this down. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can follow us on IG, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. That direction next to me on the screen, panel 316, the good guy with the black hat. The city he lives in is the home to chop and screw music. Home to chop and screw music. DJ Screw, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. Big Hawk, Fat Pat, Pimp C. I am Coach Williams.
Big Mo.
On Big Mo, my bad. Thank you. Thanks for the reminder. I'm Coach Williams, the NFL encyclopedia, the Wildcat quarterback that runs this whole thing. Peace out, y'all.